Hey folks, and welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are back with Ulm in our enormous game using Dominions Enhanced and Bozmod. So last episode, we got a boatload of gems. We traded in a bunch of fire lanterns, and we've been kind of thinking about what we're going to do about Atlantis, because they've got a ton of stuff, and yeah, we'll just go through the turn. We've got some Earth Gems from Micklin. I had sent him, this is payment for the Wraith Crown, which gives you Ethereal and summons Long Dead. This is for water bottles for Relay. I've started forging them because Vanheim, I think conflict with Vanheim's kind of inevitable at this point. Abyssia is about to attack them from the little floating island, and I probably need to go ahead and attack him too. And yeah, I think that's... Anyway, if Relay can kill a bunch of Van Heers, that will be excellent. So it's in my interest to trade with Relay. I think Vanheim... I wouldn't have done this earlier. But Vanheim has done critical enough damage to Relay that I'm willing to trade with them. Because Relay is super duper cancer. And Vanheim, in some ways, it's... I mean, first of all, it's a trade. I'm not giving him anything. But, and he could get it from somebody else. But, I don't know. I feel like a little bit it's like betraying Vanheim, because he really is doing God's work by killing Relay. Relay was going to be, like, Atlantis is bigger cancer right now, but Relay was going to be way bigger cancer later. Because they have this global they put up. Yuck. All right, we've received a ton of Earth Gems from Alkara. This is for a full kit, which I can't remember if we sent them last turn. No, we're sending it to him this turn. Firebrand, Horn Helmet, Ring of Regen, Vine Shield, Shroud of Battle Saint, and next turn I'm going to be sending him Boots of Quickness. So anyway, that's some of the trading that we have going on. Relay, I actually cannot send him he sent me 10 gems last turn for a bottle, and then 40 this turn, so I owe him 5. I'm forging 2 this turn. I couldn't forge 1 last turn because I didn't realize that this thing had run out of resources, and yeah. Anyway, we've gotten Alt 6. And Alt 6 means we can do Soul Vortex, which is kind of huge. And we've gotten Enchantment 4, which means I can do Anti-Magic, which is nice. We have a battle here where I Magic phase in a Vampire. I actually didn't even know it was here. I just knew it was owned by Scaleria. And I said, I don't care, we're going to send this guy in. It's risky because he could have had a bunch of priests here who would do Command Undead and steal my dude. Which would have made me very sad. Anyway, he's got the key kick, the key boots, key shoes. So he's able to clear these actually faster than they're able to refill. So we're going to get an HP route. And yep, he's just doing his thing. And this is God of Archenbach. So this is the first of the vampires in honor of Gada, the proud god of Sawaki. So anyway, successful here. We've cast Reaping of Souls a bunch of times. We took 2 pearls, turned them into 5 death gems. Here we took 2 pearls, turned them into 6 death gems. This actually, I don't think is part of it's part of Bozmod. I don't think I really like it. We're going to use it, but it seems broken to me. If you have Death Astral access, you can just... Now, you're constrained by suffering and tragedy, because you have to have corpses, but yeah. We also, while we're in the magic thing, we got our dude, who I've renamed to Red. And I will tell you why I renamed him. So this is, his name would be Arach, like arachnid. And you can see he's a super duper good nature mage. He's got really high death there. These actually are pretty damn legit super combatant paths. You know, Soul Vortex, one of the best things on super combatants. Personal Regen, really good. Elemental Fortitude, actually pretty good too. He doesn't have Phoenix Pyre, which is the other kind of awesome one. But personal region. And this also gives him access to Strength of Gaia, which is kind of cool. And there's some other weird special crosspath buffs that I'm not sure what they all are in DE, but. And then Earth is obviously really good on super combatants. So the plan is, and I was thinking about this, the plan is to twice-born them, right, and mass produce these. How long it takes and how many turns and all of that is a thing. Because we can't do it every turn, because we have to twice-born and then kill them. It takes a little bit of time. But when they come back in the giant warrior form. And one of the things I was thinking about is I want to get them, ideally, with my bless on them. And there is a way to do that is most awesome. And it's Apotheosis. And this is super legit. And what this does is you spend 25 gems, you put a garland on your dude, and the garland's cursed, so it's going to stay on there until they die. But once they die, you can call them back like they're your god, which is pretty awesome. If it's a really good chassis. And this guy, as a white dude, is going to be a very good chassis. He'll be immune to charm and all of that business. And so he's going to be an absolute beast. I can also empower him in blood. Empower him in blood. And then he can magic phase, because we're playing late age Ulm. So there's a ton of synergy actually going into all of this. That some of it I had planned to make this all along, but I don't know. And I planned maybe to blood empower. I don't know. I feel like there's some things I didn't plan all the way out, but they're kind of coming together. But yeah, so anyway, with this, he's basically going to become a god. And we can only do this to one of them, which is a little shitty. But to do it, I have to pick who my prophet's going to be. And what we're going to do is we're going to prophetize. I don't know if it will be the first one, but we probably will prophetize. We'll prophetize the first or the second one. That being said, we've renamed this guy to Red. And the idea is Mr. Wiggles, he's actually the cat in Pineapple Express. And so Red is the owner. And anyway, I think it's fitting if the Apotheosis thing is like a huge undead giant, and then Mr. Wiggles is the pet. So anyway, that's going to be the lore that we have going on in Ulm. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to have two of these guys who are going to be blessed. One will be the guy who becomes a demigod, Apotheosis. But to cast Apotheosis, we need a holy 3. There's only a few paths you can do Apotheosis with. One is astral, one is nature, one is... I forget the other one. One second, let's see what the other one is. Fire. So it's fire, astral, and nature. So when I make my prophet, if I did it on like a vampire who's death blood, I wouldn't be able to do Apotheosis, at least no way that I know of. So this is interesting because it's going to, first of all, it's going to be my strongest chassis that will benefit from a bless, because being a pretender god, it will get blessed in my dominion. But it's also like the guy who I have to prophet to cast Apotheosis, he's also going to get the bless. So I'm going to have two chassis from this that are going to be blessed. The rest will be really good, but they're not going to be sacred. So anyway, that is the thinking on that. And we're getting all ready to... I think this turn this guy's doing Twiceborn. Yeah. Okay. Carrying along, we did Dark Knowledge. I don't think we found anything with Dark Knowledge this turn. We have some battles here. So they're attacking here, which is the move I thought they would make. It's kind of drawing them into my trap. And we'll watch it again. If we look at it, there's a fair amount of gems on the mages. One way to do this, you hit F1, you hit C, which will filter for just the commanders. The Basalt King, he's got 2 gems. We've got this lady who's got 2 real gems and 1 temporary, and we go through it all. If you count all these up, there's about 20 gems in total on these mages, which could be a lot of nasty, filthy little water elementals. We went and attacked over here. One thing that I noticed, and I didn't think about this ahead of time, was that this is deep sea. So these guys have 100% dark vision, I think. Oh no, they're 50. These guys are 100. Yeah. These guys are 100. So you know, my wolves are going to get a combat penalty from darkness, right? So underwater penalty and then a small darkness penalty. Their darkness 50%. So it's not huge, but it's a little bit. And you can see our formation didn't really work out because like our hard-hitting dudes came in at the back. I don't know. It's a little messy. That said, this is a fair amount of PD. This is like 30 PD-ish. And yeah, I think it's about 30 PD. And, you know, it killed just the tiniest bit of chaff. So that's fine. Still a super good trade in terms of just the gold and all of that. We had some other battles. We went and killed these knights. We can watch this. And yeah, most of our guys are ethereal. It's really just here on this flank where they got a little cut up. Okay, success. We attack Scalaria. This is on top of... No, I can't remember where this was. Okay, this was not on top of the fort. There's just some Eagle Tribe warriors. I think they had retreated from the magic phase attack. And here we are attacking them with the proper army. Again, our wolves kind of run through and do their thing. Unfortunately, the AI loves casting this Gift of the Moon, which is probably like the worst spell in the game, thereabouts. So thank you. Vanheim gets attacked by some wolves. We attack some dire wolves. We can see End rolling in. So here's End's army. What's interesting is they're actually massing these soldier priests, which I've never seen before, but they've got decay weapons, which is interesting, and they've got a pin bonus. So it's interesting. It's this idea of they're basically spamming out a bunch of smites. I don't think the smites do decay if they hit, though. But the archers do. Kind of memey. It's interesting. I've thought about taking pin. I wanted to take penetration on my bless. Because it is really nice on the smite. But is it going to like win the game for you? I don't really think so. So I don't know. This is an interesting bless. I mean, it also is set up to do vampires. That's the other thing about it. Because you can see it's got astral, blood, and then death. And then some nature. So anyway, they take this. They actually have some losses. They lost one... Oh, this is a bishop. Okay, they lost one viceroy. So, fair enough. And then here we see their god. I believe this is their god. The Timotary of Destruction. And it's a kind of weird-looking sprite. It's all janky. I think this didn't get ported correctly or something. There's like weird holes in it. Yeah, somebody fucked up in porting this. Oh, is this a Trinity? Okay, it's a Trinity god. And yeah, the astral, the death, the blood. So that's cool. There are a few Trinity gods that have shown up. I know Marignon did it with like a knight thing. So this is kind of cool. Kind of cool. And it murders everything there. And then coming down here, we send a vampire count in here. Sadly, he's going to get killed next turn, but he murders everything here. Next turn, he gets Seeking Arrow to death. Spoiler. But we're going to do next turn in this episode, so, like, sort of spoiler. We have a bunch of events. A lot of these are demon-related. Most of them are not good. A calf has been born with 3 heads. What the fuck does that mean? I can't be bothered. Look, guys, look how many events I have. All these are like strange. Okay, that's not strange. Lately, dogs... I don't know what all these things are, okay? I can't be bothered to look up this many things. It's too many. Apparently there was a necromancer, and he's doing his thing, sucking life force from the world, you know. We get attacked by a bunch of independents. Somebody had claimed the Throne of Beasts, so here we go. There's a Bane Venom Charm here, or something like that. So, you know, we actually probably should have patrolled this, try to get that Bane Venom Charm. But instead, we're hanging out. What I wanted to do more was to break this fort. So anyway, we're bringing everybody over here. One thing I did not do, and it's going to end up being a problem, is I meant to set this guy to do anti-magic. Like this, because I just researched it this turn, but I forgot to actually come in and do it. Anyway, that's going to matter next turn. And let's take a look down here. So on this front with Gondwana, we have been successful getting the, we purchased these mercs, the Great Hawk, who comes with these eagles, which are excellent at sieging forts. So we've got them. We're moving a boatload of other people on here so that hopefully we can hopefully we can pop the fort next turn. And if we're successful, that will be great, because I want to get this war wrapped up well before Vanheim becomes free, so that we have the option to attack Vanheim at our leisure, not him attack us at his. And meanwhile, we're going to be storming the castle here. This is a kind of cool army setup. We've got basically 3 really strong dudes, 2 vampires and an earth gnome who are all thugged out, and they're going to be right here. And we've got these 2 dudes who are going to be sitting here fluffing. And the fluff is basically going to be, well, this guy's going to do Iron Warriors on the whole tile. And then we've got this guy who's going to be doing Body Ethereal and Cheat Fate on them. And then basically everybody else is going to be spamming imps. This guy's doing Soul Vortex, which actually is a problem. I think this ends up killing a bunch of my Ghoul Guardians, so I should have not done that. Because the thing is, what we have to... Okay, there's a little bit more to say about this, guys. There's a monolith inside here, right? So how do we kill the monolith? Well, if I get these thugs in close, and I think I've got quickness getting cast on them too. Yeah, quickness and enlarge. So they're going to be big and hit hard. Anyway, if they're in, they'll slowly chip it down. But the other thing is I want these Ghoul Guardians in. So I put the Ghoul Guardians on front. I don't... Okay, we've got anti-magic going off, so they'll have some MR resistance. But they're gonna... I think they still get a little wrecked by Soul Vortex, which is... I should have taken this off. I think this is the primary killer of my own shit. But we're also going to be trying to get Strength of Giants on these guys. And these guys with Strength of Giants hit really hard. They will punch through the monolith. Not super fast. I don't know if this is going to go off, but I've got Keen Blade scripted. It's a red saying it won't go off, but it should cast. Because it's Earth 4 with 1 gem. And I'm going to be Earth Power, so it's going to be 3. And then I'm going to have some gems. So I should be able to cast it once, which would be nice. It would, especially if we got some of these guys with Armor Piercing. But we'll check next turn. We get to watch this battle. But, you know, it's always tricky taking monoliths out. Very rare you do it on your first time. But it would suck if we lost this army, because this is really our only military presence in this part of the world. So if this army dies, we certainly wouldn't be ready to attack Vanheim, and we would barely be ready to defend against them. Over here, we're actually going to go ahead and roll out over here. Caleb seems to be dealing with other stuff and not really worried too much about this. He hasn't counter-rated any of this. This guy is going to die from Seeking Arrows next turn, but he was going to go hit this province. We're just going to maybe kind of try to catch some raiders, and these guys are going to move over here, and we're going to make our way down here and jump on top of this fort. That's basically the plan. What I spent... Well, there's a few things to talk about. We're going to talk about items real quick. One of the things we're doing... Okay, he's making a Dwarven Hammer, but down here we're making the Gem of Creation. And to do it, you need to be... It's basically like a Ring of Wizardry, which you only have to be Astral 6 for instead of Astral 7. And it's also notable because I think you can combine it with the Ring of Wizardry to give you a bigger total path boost for like elemental stuff. Anyway, so it's available, and we put our Tomb of High Power on, and we're going to town. That's what's happening. Yeah. So anyway, that's happening on the other front. None of the items that I want have been stolen yet. And I've been checking it every turn to see which ones have been... None of the things I'm interested in have been stolen. So, like, the things I'm interested in are, like, this little bit interested in. Too low level to forge. Means it hasn't been made yet. This one, the Hyporian gem, I am interested in this. Pretty interested. It's not like the tippy top of my list, but I do want it. This one has not been forged yet. Gem of Creation, we're making that this turn. This one, the Amulet of Power, I actually want this too. This I want to put on my god. Not been forged yet. The Chalice, I'm not really that interested in that. Horror Harmonica has not been made yet. Pretty interested in that too. The other thing that I'm super duper interested still hasn't been made yet, nor will it be made yet next turn. So I'm kind of, we're not going to go back through it again next turn. But this one, the Staff of the Fire King, also has not been made yet. So that's actually super good. It would be interesting to make the Murdering Winter Staff too. The thing is, I don't know where I would cast it. Because my stuff is all Heat Dominion. So I'm not really sure. I don't really border a ton of cold. Like, Vanheim's Heat too. So I'm not super sure on that, actually. Anyway, the big thing this turn is this guy has fallen into my trap. And I was going to send my dragon in here, Skeletal Legion my whole army, which is going to make them pretty resistant to this, whatever these guys are doing. Skeletal Legion my army, have a big pitched battle. There's some problems, though. One is there was enough PD here that it triggered gym usage, which means we don't have water elementals. So that's the first thing that sucks. The second thing that kind of sucks is I first of all, we were going to have the attack. I scripted it. You know, I had my dragon come in. And then I started getting nervous. And I started running some test games. Which I didn't want to do. But I was like, it was keeping me up at night a little bit. I was like, oh, God, I feel like we're going to... The thing is, if I get crushed here, it's not going to go well. Like, we potentially are going to lose a lot of ground underwater. So I went and tested it, and sure enough, we sometimes won, we sometimes lost. But if we won at just a devastating cost. Which is fine. Like, I'm okay trading. But... it's also kind of not fine. I would much rather win decisively. So what we're going to do here is I need to figure out a way to decisively trade with Atlantis. And what I have decided is my god can do it. And my god can do it. We're going to empower him in Astral, because if you recall, I had mentioned I kind of wanted to do that anyway, to do the Hyporian gem. And if I did the Hyporian gem, then, anyway, that would be a good thing, and I need to be Astral 1. The other thing that being Astral will allow me to do is I can do, after I empower Blood a bit more, we can do Hell Power, and then I can do Power of the Spheres, and that will put me up to Death 9 in combat, which is just frighteningly high. It will also put me up to Astral 4 in combat, which is also quite high. And if I empower an Astral one more time, which the second time's pretty cheap, put me up to Astral 5, which means I can do Soul Drain, which is nuts, especially on a chassis like this. So this actually opens up some crazy stuff, just empowering once or twice in Astral. The other thing that does is it's basically +1 protection once I empower myself in Earth. My plan is kind of to empower an Astral once or twice in Earth, and then Blood a couple more times. And as this guy fattens up, it's going to make him an absolute monster. So anyway, that's the plan for that. The other thing is there's a particular spell, and it's called Ghost Form, and it's right here. And this is one of those things I was talking about earlier, the cross path buffs. So it affects the caster. It gives you additional fear, which is always nice. It gives you ethereal, which is great. It gives you cold resistance and cold aura. And that's actually really clutch, because what that means is, given enough time, we will freeze water elementals around us, which can be really good. It can be really, really good. So, it's to fight water elementals, you need Astral. We can fluff, body ethereal. So it's not the best, but it's the combination of we need it for all the things anyway. And we have the pearls now. We've already got the Gem of Creation under construction. We're not going to, I don't think, have any huge pearl draws in the near future, and we're making a shit ton of pearls a turn anyway. Because of all that, we're doing the empowering, and here's what I'm thinking. Here's my thought. I've cracked this fort. He's gonna move the army here. Predictable move. I was like, boom, we're gonna have the battle after we gem bait him, and then we're gonna come down here. Right? And then he's going, anyway, or the thought was originally we're going to have the battle, but instead we're going to dodge him. We're going to come down here because it's too much attrition. This guy has not been putting PD up. Like, he hasn't been doing the 1 PD. He hasn't been paying attention. So we're going to come in here and just raid him with the scout. And anyway, the plan is turn after. I'm pretty sure he's going to move the army in to chase me to attack. When he does that, we will then be able to send our god in. Because my god kind of needs to be in friendly dominion. But if he is in friendly dominion, I tested it, we should be able to kill the whole army. And this is not like a pansy army. This is like going to be, because the thing is, he's going to, he's going to get a ton of water elementals, right? Because he's going to, even though I gem bait him now, next turn he's going to be in this fort. Presumably there's a lab in here. He'll stock back up on gems and roll out. So, anyway, that's what we have going on over here. Basically, we're going to do a trap. The other thing is, if this doesn't work or something like that, until they have anti-undead stuff on like a suitable thug, Arach is going to, or Red, once he gets in his undead form, will be able to absolutely murder these guys once we put a kit on them. He can, if we have an astral fluffer in place, or we give him a way to get body ethereal, he can tank water elementals. Like, the chassis is strong enough to do that. So that's the other thing that's kind of cool. Trying to think if there's too much else to talk about. On this turn, I think that's mostly it. We're setting up to take this fort. These guys are rolling out. Hopefully we can get this one. And we're moving on over here. We're preparing to have a battle over here on Scaleria. Yis is eating up here, and then he's eating over this way. Apparently, in diplomacy, Marignon and Ind have agreed to split this, not to fight over it, which is a little disappointing to me. Marignon also has fallen angels. We're going to see that next turn, but you can see it in the army report this turn, which I guess we kind of expect that, but damn it. They're going to have bigger problems to deal with, like Therados. So, anyway, we'll see how that goes. But I need to start thinking about my next play, and I think my next play is probably Vanheim, but we're going to decide that reasonably soon. I'm big enough, I don't have to keep going right now. Like, I kind of do. In a game like this, you have to be really aggressive. But I can take a brief break. Oh, this reminds me of the other thing we're doing. We're sending Homeslice and Worm, the Bloodhoff, to take out this throne. And it's a little dicey because he can get trampled by air elementals at being only size 3. I was going to send my dragon in, but I was looking at it, I'm like, my dragon's got other shit to do. We've got to try to do it without him. If he gets body ethereal on him, he's got a pretty decent chance to tank air elementals. He could die to them, but he's got a pretty good chance to live. Because he's got 20% regen. I've increased his base HP up to 32. Ideally, I would also get Enlarge off on him. That would be really good. Like, ideally, this was like an Amulet of Giants here. I probably should have put this on instead. This would have put him up to 39. That would have been ideal, I think. Anyway, we didn't. We put this on, which he doesn't need more shock resistance, but it's the world we live in. And with that, let's go ahead and go to the next turn. which is my current turn. It's been a while since we've done a 2-for-1. Current turn. No, it's 30 minutes in. I should probably cut recording and go to the next episode, but we will not. We got a Skull of Magic Fire. We got a bunch of Lightless Lanterns. I had sent him about 15, and 7 or something he paid for outright. And then some of them he just paid some interest for, so like 2 gems for each of these or something. And that was just to have them until he could hit a critical research target. And I think it's so he can do charm spam, or maybe it's something different. I think he wanted to get Thom 7. I'm not sure what was there for him, but we can actually check. What the hell is there? And maybe it's something special for these guys. Charm. Okay, yeah, that was what it was. So he wanted to get charm and see if he could win himself some ponies. We empowered ourselves in Astral. We finished Conjuration. This was Conjuration 6, I believe. And what this allows us to do, having the Skull of Fire, is... And I think I'm doing it here. Yeah. We're summoning a Flame Spirit. And a Flame Spirit is a Fire 3 mage. And what that means is with the Gem of Creation and these 2 boosters, the Flame Spirit can become Fire 6, which is what I need to forge. And I don't want to mess it up. It's what I need to forge Bracers of Protection. This thing. You need to be Fire 6. So that'll be nice. This is going to be expensive, but it is cheap when you consider what it can do, which is drop flames from the sky every single turn. Oh, fire spell range, -1. It's going to be tricky how we deploy this, though. Because with homesickness, I think it also gives homesickness. It's not written in here, but you get homesickness. So anyway, the range of this is 3 provinces, so you actually can't cast it very far. And it's homesickness 25, so you could like leave, like teleport somewhere, cast twice, and then teleport back. And I think that would work. So it can have an uptime of like 25% out of your normal range, but if we put this on a golem, which is good because they can teleport, if we put it on a golem, then we can also put the Tomb of High Power on the golem, which is going to give them a bonus 2 range. And that's really nice because a bonus 2 range will mean we can zap at a range of 4. So like from here... Oh, wow, we got another fire random. I didn't even notice that. That's actually super lucky. And we actually haven't site searched for fire, so probably have this guy do that this turn. But if we just look at like range, so first of all, I can hit any of the... I can hit any of the stars, basically, from here, from this throne province. Because this throne connects directly to my star. So we can hit a lot of stuff. I may also... The other nice thing about the throne is I'll be able to hit all of Vanheim. The bad thing is Vanheim is actually not very vulnerable to it, because Vanheers have some armor, and he's got a larger bliss, which is one of the things that kind of protects you from flames from the sky. So anyway, that's... we have to figure out where we're going to cast the golem, because the golem's home province is going to matter. Anyway, those are things for us to think about. But like with flames from the sky, I can just start reducing... Like, it would make fighting Marignon kind of trivial. So like from here, like if I wanted to hit the moon, remember with Tomb of High Power, the range is 4. So I can actually hit almost all the moon from here. I can actually hit all the moon, except like one province, with flames from the sky. So that would put this in my jurisdiction. I could actually hit a small amount of Abyssia. Not most of it, but I could hit like the top... I don't know. I could hit some of it. If I figured out another way to boost range, I might be able to cast it even farther. I need to look through my sites again and double check to make sure there's nothing... Yeah. This actually is pretty strong. And maybe I go ahead and suck it up and just do it on my star. If I do it on my star, I have to invest. I have to make this fort super strong. But that might be the way to do it. The problem from doing it on my star is it puts me farther away from the Vanheim front. And it means I'm going to have very limited ability to do that on my planet. Because, like, let's take a look over here. So, yeah, so like the cast over here, it actually is like a legit long way. Here it starts getting closer because we're getting close to the, like the way off the planet. But down here where it's a long way from getting off planet, it's actually like not in range at all of flames from the sky. So we'll be a little sparing. We're not going to cast the golem, I think, until, even though we want to secure the rod for ourselves, we're not going to cast the golem until we're ready to use it, is basically the idea. And we're not gonna be conservative about using it. Like the second I can use it, we'll use it. But we don't want to just do it to piss people off. So we have to think a little bit about it. The other thing is you can see my dominion's getting pushed here a bit. So I'm probably gonna have to get a few more priests and get to preaching. Last thing we want is somebody else's dominion coming into our world through this star. So that's gonna be a thing. The other thing which I needed to talk about last episode, but I didn't, is this star has an awesome sight. The Singing Stream, which gives me these recruit anywhere assassin, or not recruit, well, I mean, it's a TNN unit that is an assassin. It's an heir to assassin. They're spell singers, so they summon things slowly, but they can summon air elementals, which is kind of nuts. They're super duper good assassins, especially if you have something to kind of distract people while they fire off their stuff. Also, we are not playing with my improved casting AI mod on, which means assassins, mages, when you assassinate them, do extremely stupid things. So it's very hard to defend against assassins without my mod on. So anyway, these guys are going to be really effective. It's a bigger deal that they're spell singing when you have my mod on, because the enemy will get the initiative and they'll cast like Frozen Heart or something and kill you or rout you. But without my mod on, they'll sit there and instead of casting Frozen Heart, they'll do Liquid Body or something, which you don't care about while you summon your air elemental. Anyway, getting this is huge. First of all, it's an Air 2. We only have access to Air 1s. Second of all, because it's an Air 2, they can Magic Phase, which is awesome. Third of all, it just gives really good gems. And this has some okay gems, a Rune of Water. This actually is interesting. We could potentially Murdering Winter people. I wonder what scales Yis took. Looks like he took Heat. But this would be an ideal place actually to drop Murdering Winter from. And this place is actually kind of shit, but we're going to go ahead and take it. Having these stars is going to give us a lot of options. Nazca is somewhere right here. Nazca's in the center of this planet. And they've come up here and they're eating these guys. So one thing I could do is come over here and try to take over this island. And that would involve fighting first Nazca. And then second, it would involve fighting Helheim, who's down here. Problem with that is it would weaken them potentially for Yis. The good thing about it is these guys are on the menu for Yis. Yis is going to eat them at some point, and might as well be us that eats it instead of them. So anyway, there's that. So anyway, it's an option. We basically can get on this thing now, which would be kind of cool. One problem is one of the ways off the planet is through here. And like I had said before, there's not many ways off the planet. One is this star. One is this waterfall. One is this island. And I think that's it. I don't think there's any other ways off the planet. None of the oceans go off the planet. It's one of the things we're fixing for the next game with this map, because this obviously is not very cool. I can sell stars potentially to people on the planet, and they can gateway and magic phase people off of it. Like maybe I'll sell this star or something. Anyway, we'll see. We're not going to offer that now, but if the situation arises, we can do that. Ooh, there's other things that are happening. Calum is on top of Alcara's capital, which we can actually see. I didn't realize I could see it. They've also popped it. Alcara has an army nearby, and they're going to defend it. And because of that, well, we had our shit-eating grin was going to potentially deploy down here and knock them off, but Alcara said, look, we got to do it anyway, and we don't want to run into your guy, and we're pretty confident we're going to win. Kailasa actually burned all the gems on this stack, which was a lot. It was like 70 gems. He burnt them, sending in one of the idols as well, but his idol doesn't have an artifact, so it died. My idol did have an artifact. Here we can see there's a bunch of... one thing I need to look up is if these marble lions get a patrol bonus or something, which I feel they might. I feel like this probably is not a super safe place for us. So I think we're going to probably peace out, because you can see they caught this dude. He doesn't have a great stealth value. It's 50, and ours is like 90. And they weren't patrolling with them because we didn't see them pop up. I think we're actually okay. I think we're going to camp out here for another turn. These guys have really high stealth. So I think we're going to camp out here, Bane Venom Charm them a little bit, and then we'll move around. But we're going to go ahead and get a few more people diseased. I feel pretty okay with this. Once we start seeing like 50 guys, I'm going to start getting, like, this is right on the edge. And maybe we just move off. And then we can make our way back up this way. Just spread our fuck you around, you know? Don't want to concentrate it too much in one spot. The other thing is Rotterdam has just had epic wins against Atlantis underwater. Atlantis has been the aggressor, but he's just lost everything. He's gotten wrecked. And I think Rotterdam has the tools to actually win an underwater war against these guys. So that's my hope. And that's one of the reasons why, even though I could eat them on land, there's a bunch of reasons we're going out of our way to help them in the coalition. This was theirs. We've taken it. They're going to come probably take it back next turn. I told them they could. These had werewolves and then knights in them. They're kind of hard indies for him to clear. So I went and cleared them out, and I got the income for a little bit. And anyway, he's going to come take them back. But, and I don't know, I think most of this was Calum's. I don't think this was ever really Rotterdam's, but maybe this was, and maybe this was, I don't know. I think maybe these two were, but I don't think the other things were. We'll give some of it back. But the thing is having an alliance with Rotterdam actually, even though I could eat him and have a bunch of stuff, what I can't do is fight underwater as well as he can. So having him fight a war, which I think is in his best interest, to just conquer underwater, because we're all messing with Atlantis. Kalos is messing with him. Jotunheim's messing with him. I'm messing with him. Everybody's messing with him. And anyway, if he gets in here and conquers the underwater, that's just great. It's going to mean I don't have to worry about him attacking me for a long time. He'll be friendly and respect this, because Atlantis doesn't really care, because they don't have really land holdings for me to take away from them. Rotterdam would not really be interested in my stuff, because I would kick him off land, which he wouldn't want, because his capital is on land. So anyway, we have the makings for a potentially long-term peace. So ideally, I was really worried he was going to die, because he's lost his capital. That's always a bad sign. But he's had just really big wins against Atlantis underwater. So it's looking like we may be long-term allies, which would be kind of cool. But we'll see. We'll see. The other thing that happened this turn is we cast Dark Knowledge a few times. We found one site. Maybe we found that site last turn. I thought we found a burial mound somewhere. Did we not? I guess we didn't. Oh yeah, we can actually see their bless here, I think, too. This is Marignon. Marignon and Dominions Enhanced, they get these guys, which are basically Sacred Demon Knights, which is kind of badass. And they have a kind of good bless. It's attack and poison resistance and cold resistance and defense skill. So 20 defense, and then very high attack. They're pretty killy. And then they've got Fallen Angels, which are pretty good. And he's got, I guess, a Skull Champion on them to get them some experience. They've got a Fire Shield built in. And then these are some of the better Super Combatant Pass, especially in the very late game. So anyway, these guys are pretty cool. Maybe we can steal a few of them at some point. Because their magic resistance isn't super great, and we are an Astral Nation, and we know how to deal with these guys. I haven't fought these but a few times, but I've killed a lot of them in the one game I played with them. So they're okay, but they're not very good against Astral Nations, let me tell you what. The other thing is, if you look at this army, I can just destroy this with Flames from the Sky. Just kill all of his mages. I'm kind of leaning towards taking over this planet with just Flames from the Sky spam. Just dropping it on every single army here, taking this over. And then from there, the thing is, that would mean I would potentially be in a perma war. I think that's one thing I need to consider. Like, what if I get in a perma war? Well, it would mean I get involved on this planet. Which I'm not loving the idea of. Because it's got Therados. And I'm not a very good matchup against Therados. I think it would be better against Nazca. And I can get involved here. And this planet, if I jump into the middle, I'm actually pretty okay with that. I've got to fight Ubar, Early Age Early Age Abyssia, Marverni maybe. Yis is going to be on this planet, so I would make him have to quit all of his land dreams, probably. I think this probably makes a lot more sense. Because the difference is I'm okay following through, which I think is always an important question to think about, especially after that man experience. But yeah, from here I could probably knock deep into the Heartlands. Okay, not super deep. We can get some core areas here though. I really need to see if there's some other boosters that will boost cast range for evocations. There's like the thing is the obvious fire boosters that I know about. One is the Staff of Flame Focus. And the problem with that is it's a two-handed weapon. So I couldn't even do like a copper arm and carry it. Okan Scepter. Oh, shit. Well, there we go. First click I make when I stumble in here. Okay, so I can boost the range one more by doing a copper arm and throwing on Okan Scepter, which I think I'm certainly going to do. And the copper arms, I think, are cheaper in that. No, they're the same price. Oh, no, they're a little cheaper. This would have been 15, I think. So, like 15 and 5. Okay, so I can do a golem with the copper arm. We can put on one of the sets of arms, this, and then we can put on the other arm, Okan Scepter. And then in the backpack, we can do the Tomb of High Power, and then I can also do an Arcane Lens. And all of that combined will give me a bonus casting range of 4. And the default range of Flames from the Sky is 3. So, but it goes down by 1, so it's going to be 2 plus 4, it should be 6. So yeah, that's going to go a pretty long way. And this actually puts me in range of just nuking all of it. Well, Abyssia is going to be immune to Flames from the Sky. I think this is the spot. And I think I need to Citadel this. And then I just start blasting things with Flames from the Sky. But I think I use that to conquer all of this stuff. And the consequence of conquering all this is it means it's going to be very hard for people to get off the planet. I mean, people could kind of get off. Like, if Kailasa wants to come up here, they could go over... How do they get off the planet from this way? Get over to this star. Okay, this... They can get to these 2 stars if they come south. So I could potentially conquer this all the way down to here, and then leave the rest down here for Kalem. That might make sense. And not for Kalem, for Kailasa. But these are all important considerations when I'm thinking about where I'm picking my war. What kind of future wars will it lock me into? Because I want people to get off my planet without having to go through my 1 star. That's another thing to think about for Vanheim, is if I take Vanheim... But I think this is this is why this planet is kind of bad. Badly designed. Because, like, Vanheim has to fight me, really. He's too small, I think. I mean, he could go fight... He's going to have to fight Abyssia, but... And I guess if we got Abyssia, he would be big, and that would be a ticket off. So yeah, I mean, if I wanted to have long-term peace with Vanheim, which I may choose to do, I'm still flexible, I just don't think I will, then, yeah. But otherwise, this one's going to be mine, too. Yeah, there's just no fucking way. So there's really only one other way off the planet aside from going and fighting me. I might actually have to conquer this planet. Now that I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it, because... Yeah, there's just not enough ways off of it, I don't think. Which means people can fight each other, but the second somebody else gets big, like the worst thing that would happen is they all fight each other and somebody quickly wins, like let's say Kailasa quickly wins. Well, now he's got most of the planet and he's going to kill me because he could get off here, I guess. That could still be a thing. Like if I conquered all of this and then Kailasa had the rest, he'd be bigger than me. But then he could still get off this way. But if I come over here, that's okay. But look, I've got a lot of options, right? And these look far away, but I can still, from here, flames from the sky, probably this whole world. Like, let's see. We said maximum range we could get is 6. Yeah, we can flatten Blandos. All of Blandos is in range. God's Glory, almost all of God's Glory is in range. So we could come over here and just mostly flatten God's Glory. We have a lot of options. Oh my god, this whole planet is in range. Literally this whole planet. So I could just go on Volanus. Having flames from the sky to attack Therados would actually be kind of nice. It would make up for the fact that I'm not really well equipped to do it. I don't think I'm going to go on Volanus though, but... I didn't think we were going to get the flames from the sky staff, but it's looking now like we have a pretty good possibility of getting it. One of the problems though is somebody could wish for it, and then I won't have it anymore. But that is neither here nor there. We will hopefully get it at least long enough to get, 400 or 500 fire gems worth of flames from the skies out of it. And with that, conquer a world. What we're doing this turn, I'll show you kind of the moves since we're running out of time. I've got these fluffers set up here. And they're set up to do Moss Body, Gift of Hair, Protection, Earth Power, Iron Warriors, Iron Will, Water Power, Quickness, Aspect of the Sea. This is basically Liquid Body, Wave Warriors, but it's underwater and it doesn't cost a gem. So, anyway. I probably should put a gem on him just so he doesn't pass out. Aspect of the Sea. God, that is a shit ton of fatigue. I think we're going to do... This isn't as much fatigue. Wave Warriors, right? Oh no, it's 100. Okay. So there we go. We're not going to put Conservative Gem Use on, so he'll probably use that gem to cast this, and then he'll get out. Our god is... He's doing Cloud Trapeze, aka Bat Transformation, to get down there. And you can see we've got him positioned right where he should be. These guys will be 2 tiles behind, which means they should be in range of everything. And these guys are going to be moving over this way. And from here, we're going to be able to check this. I'm assuming this army comes here. This is not, by no means is this a super high, I think it's the most likely move, but it's probably no more than like 40%. Right? He could stay here. He could come over this way. You know, those are probably the big moves. He could even come up here and raid me on land. Very hard to know what he's going to do. What we're also doing, and this is risky because I could potentially lose this whole army, but whatever, is we're sending these guys underwater, and we've got this guy set up in a cage. So he's going to get Iron Warriored and Body Etherealed, and then just go absolutely ham. Just hog wild. Look how many attacks he's got, and he's got quickness on him. He's got no encumbrance, basically. He's going to actually get a little bit of encumbrance from going berserk, but aside from that, you know, none. He's just going to go absolutely rip-roaring through people. He's going to be at 26 natural protection once he gets hit with Iron Warriors. And I need to make sure I've got him not alone in the tile. So he's got this guy in the tile with him. So yeah, he's going to go absolutely bonkers, right? Iron Warriors on him, and then maybe we get Legions of Steel on him would be great. This may not hit him. Probably won't. He's going to be so hard to kill. He's going to be 26 natural protection, and then he's going to basically get like a bonus 5 from this. So he's going to be like 31 protection. Very high. Combined with the fact that he's going to be ethereal. He's going to have Dancing Shield. He's going to have this, which may shock people. And he's going to, I mean, good luck trying to hit him. He's going to be just deleting 2 or 3 tiles worth of dudes in front of him every single turn. So there's that. It's going to be an absolute beast. So if we run into them, this whole army's going to die. But there's a decent chance that this guy just super combats his way through the whole army. I don't think he will, but he theoretically might be able to. He can definitely kill a lot of water elementals. I don't know. I mean, I do know. He would not be able to survive being surrounded by them. But he could put a hurting on them. You know, if I got like blunt, pierce, and slash resistance, he might even be able to tank water elementals. Like if I sent one of the... But I can't. I don't have a way to get that on him right now. Anyway. He's coming down here. And the idea is, if these guys do move out this way, they're going to run into my god. My god should be able to kill them and rout them. And this will cut off one of their retreat routes. If he's very lazy and doesn't raid this, like he didn't bother taking this back, then we will have cut off all their retreat routes and they die. If he takes it back with a few dudes, then they'll retreat here, but he'll have pretty high losses. And then potentially we could even magic phase our shit-eating Gren statue on top of him. So anyway, that's basically the plan for this part of the world. And if we're successful, that should give us both of these forts. And then we'll be able to like raid with our dude. I don't know. We'll be able to do cool stuff. So, that is this part. We actually had some battles. I haven't shown you any of the battles yet. Here we gem baited them. Yes, spend all of your gems, motherfuckers. Yoink. So anyway, an immobile with an artifact and 100-something HP is clearly enough to gem bait. Here's the battle for the throne. And this actually is a crazy battle. So Body Ethereal, these guys come down and the other dude's immediately dead. This guy, he's got this thing to go berserk, but I forgot he doesn't actually go berserk because he's mounted. So anyway, I don't think he's going to go berserk. Which is kind of nice because he can actually get some spells off eventually. Now what happens is when he clears up a tile and an air elemental jumps in that tile, that air elemental will trample him, and you can see he gets pushed all over the place. So they're all chasing him. We'll do it in slow motion so you can see. And just slowly fast forward till it happens again. Because right now he's in a steady state. Okay, he's got Soul Vortex off. That's actually really nice. So now his HP is going to go way above the base. His chance of dying now are pretty low. But we're going to be more likely. We got temper armor off, so our armor's gone up. Protection versus mundane is 33. But we're making it more and more likely we can... Okay, an air elemental just got in. So now we're going to start getting trampled again. And we do take damage from getting trampled. This is the way we can theoretically die. And that's why I didn't want to send in a size whatever dude. Because you can see there's so many air elementals. They're just relentless trampling him. He's still at 58 HP. But look how fast he's getting trampled so many times. Like, okay, he finally got... not trampled. Okay, there he goes. I don't know how it moved him from here to here. Anyway, this goes on. Once we got Soul Vortex off, we were fine. I think we got down to like 15 HP, though, at one point in this. Oh, and now that he's really getting pushed around, these guys can't catch up with him, and the air elementals are the one that catch up. Okay, yeah, he's down to 46. I mean, let me zoom out. You can just watch this. It's freaking nuts. And then it gets to like a steady state again. It keeps going. What is this guy casting? False Horror? Yeah. Unfortunately, he got cursed here too. Oh no, he's confused. I thought he got cursed. Oh, there's a death mage spamming dust to dust. Like, where is this guy even? He's so beat up. Apparently he's routed, but he can't get out. He's not allowed to escape. Okay, and he's trying to run. But for whatever reason, he can't. And I'm not sure. Oh, it's because he's confused. So he runs a few steps and then stops. And that's what saves these guys from winning. Because he was trying to run off the battlefield. But he can't. So he wins. So that was our battle versus the Independents. And we now have... he got a chest wound, which isn't great. But we could get that off of him if we want to. We now have the Shattered Throne. And the real minigame right now for us is we have to get our blood income up. Right now we're probably at about 100 a turn. 20, 60... Yeah, we're at about 100 a turn. We need to get up to like 400 or 500. We do this really, really fast. So we're going to be deploying a lot of our wolves down here. We're going to start blood hunting here just as fast as we can. I want to get this whole cap circle just completely lit up blood hunting. We're going deep in blood, maybe to blood 8, which is what we need. I'm not sure what we'll do. We're going to get blood 7 first, but after this, we may go all the way to blood 8. Blood 7 gives us the spells we want to cast, Curse of Vampirism and Curse of Blood, and potentially Malediction. Blood 8, though, gives us Blood Vortex, which I think we're going to put right here. We may also do like Looming Hell. We may just drop a lot of Blood Globals because they're going to be cheap for us because we've got this site. So anyway, that's something we could do. Oh, we have the Battle for Gondwana too. We'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, we've got this. I'm really hesitant about getting Misfortune 3, but guys, we can't pass up on the Blood 3 of the Blood Magic 30. We have to take it. As much as I hate Misfortune 3. I mean, it's a legit bad. You get plagues and it's bad. It's real bad. But we're going to go take it. Fuck my life. We're going to do it. Because the discount is just too good to pass up. So, but first we're going to just, before I claim it, we'll have a few more turns without Misfortune 3. We're going to get these... We've just got a huge amount of wolves, which we've got coming down this way. And once they're all here, we've got our little blood mages we're recruiting everywhere. Yeah, maybe one more guy. One more... No, we probably should switch you to a blood mage. And we're going to just start filling this thing up with blood hunters. Got these guys coming out. Basically, everybody's coming out to go blood hunt. And we're just going to burn this cap circle to the ground, taking all of the slaves. And then we're going to do blood vortex. That is the plan. We, this turn, are forging the cornerstone. And what's kind of cool is because any of the artifacts we can make on our smiths are better, these black priests, because we can actually use the hammer of the master smith, which gives us a 25% discount on artifacts, which is absolutely huge. You know, like on this particular item we're making, the cornerstone, it's 40, so it's going to give us like a 10 gem discount on this. So that's really, really big. And we've got other things we're going to make too, and we have to iron out the exact sequence. Next thing is going to be the fire staff. Hopefully we do that next turn. There's a chance somebody snipes at this turn, and there's a chance we bump them next turn for it. But after that, I will have gotten most of the things which I feel like I have to get immediately. We can start getting some nice-to-haves. Like I want to get the Sword of Many Colors, which is going to help me path boost a lot. And then after that, we can get the Atlas of Creation, which is basically going to be like a gem gen for me. It's going to be really good. Those are probably my next two. The Hyporian gem I also want, though I want a bit less. But, you know, I can basically send him to just take a province every single turn. And if he dies, I don't care. So, yeah, that's basically what we're working with. Big fight down here. Fighting Gondwana. This probably should have been 2 episodes. We're well over an hour now. Oh, well, there's a few other things. Before we get to Gondwana... Okay. There's actually a lot of things. So, we got struck by a Seeking Arrow 3 times, and this vampire... got wrecked. The guy who was here, and then they came in here and they took this from me. So we're going to send another vampire in, and hopefully he'll just cast the same thing again, but you can just sneak away from Seeking Arrow, so we're not going to worry about it. But anyway, if for nothing else, just to bait out 3 more Seeking Arrow casts, we'll do it. And then we have the fight for at Scalaria, and then we'll do the fight for Gondwana. So Scalaria rode out, and I didn't cast anti-magic, which sucks. And my wolves all die, which sucks. There was like a hole in my line formation, which I don't think I realized when they all ran through. Anyway. And we're banishing just a bunch of ghouls. Unfortunately, they have priests, and they're banishing my dudes too. Anyway, they're running. We ended up losing a fair amount of stuff. We lost, 24 Ghoul Guardians, which is like 4 or 5 turns of cap production. So that sucks. And then we lost 14 Zweihanders. So we're going to be storming this fort this turn, but I'm leaving these guys out. The Ghoul Guardians, because they're probably just going to get banished. And I don't think I need them, especially since there's no army inside now, because they all came out and died. And I've shifted around the Communion a bit more, so we've got Light of the Northern Star will go up, and then these guys are going to start blasting out Mind Burns. Yeah. I still don't have anti-magic, but I don't need it now, because I'm not bringing these guys who are going to die. So anyway, we're going to take this, and then this will be ours, and we'll be happy. And then we had finally the battle for Gondwana. Gondwana is AI. So the monolith does enlarge. Hey, how the fuck does it do enlarge? I thought monoliths are size 6. Oh, it's shrunken. Interesting. So it does enlarge. Iron Skin. Blade Wind. So now it's a 40 protection monolith. These are kind of hard to kill. He's spamming out Blade Wind, and it's going right for my Mage Core, which kind of sucks because they don't have armor. Bunch of imps. Now he's Blade Winding the imps. We've got in here one of our thugs engaged, and he hits really hard. You know, I want to watch this again. I want to watch the buffing cycle. Because I never saw if I got Keen Blades off. One thing I didn't notice is these slaves had disrupted my formation. Strength of Giants, Legions of Steel. This is the guy who's supposed to cast it, this dude right here. And he should do it next. Oh, so he did do Keen Blade. So these guys have weapons of sharpness on them. I wanted him to hit these guys. Okay, so anyway, it worked at least. I probably could have put him a bit closer to the dudes I wanted him to cast it on. But some of these guys are going to have it. Yeah, these are Keen Blade dudes. It's basically like a small weapons of sharpness. We've got one thug in. These imps are kind of doing what I was worried they would do, and they clog it up. But fortunately, he's able to kill them. We've now got two thugs in. And we're hitting him. This thug is not in yet. And importantly, we're starting to get a bunch of the Ghoul Guardians in. And we probably even have... It'd be interesting just to check. I don't think I have anybody with weapons of sharpness yet. But we're hitting him with the Bane of Heresy, and he's a god. So Ghoul Guardians the Ghoul Guardians fuck gods up. Unfortunately, some of these guys are getting yoinked by Soul Vortex. Right? So this actually is... these penetration rolls you see are Soul Vortex. So we're actually... This guy's fucking up all my Ghoul Guardians. But we've got him now very high fatigue. He's mute. And yeah, Soul Vortex did most of the damage here. And he had a Medallion of Vengeance on him, which was a kind of hilarious fuck you way to go. So if we look at the battle report here, I wonder how many it says. Yeah, this vampire count killed 46. And a lot of that was my own dudes. So we lost, like these guys almost certainly were killed by vampire count, by my vampire count. So anyway, what are we going to do? Anyway, it was successful though. We killed it. Sure, we lost 4 of these guys. So, you know, that's $600. And, you know, we lost $100 or something of, you know, a couple $100. So that was about $800 of stuff. But we got a capital. And there was a monolith inside it. It was not, you know, taking a capital with a monolith's not really trivial. We're patrolling to get the unrest down. We'll start trying to fort it up to get it all the way up to a citadel. And then we'll be very, very happy pandas. Here we're going to... Oops. We got attacked by knights here. We got attacked by a ton of things. We got attacked by Bogarus over here. Or Bogus over here, which is annoying. So we've got to come liberate this. I actually don't have anything. I have to do this next turn. I don't have anything in the area that can kill these guys. But we should be able to do it next turn. I think I've got... Do I have an Earth 2 around here? Do I not have an Earth 2? I actually need an Earth 2. Alright, this Earth 2 is coming. I'm actually going to give him 2 gems so he can do Keen Blades. We'll script him too in case we run into stuff. But he's going to come in with probably a few other mages that are inside that fort. And straighten these guys out. Drop a Keen Blades on them. Legions of Steel or something like that. Okay. That will probably work. So anyway, we'll move these guys up here, then they'll run over here. That should be okay. And yeah, this guy can come in too if we need him. And we may bring him in. But over on this front, we got attacked by knights too. We're going to be just sending in thugs to kill the knights. This fort's popped already, so we're going to be storming it. I don't want to bring the wolves in or the archers. They'll probably just die. We're going to send the Merc send a Thug in. I think the Thug actually might be able to take it on his own. But these are pretty tough. And these guys should not... It's 250 HP, but I think I've got more than 250 HP when you count these other dudes. So if they die, I don't think they're going to HP route the army. So anyway, these guys are going to be on hold and attack rear. This guy's going to be at the front doing Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Temper Armor, and then attack. I'll put him on attack rear. Anyway, he'll run in. Basically, we're going to kill everybody inside the fort. Great Eagles are pretty tough. I mean, they'll probably die, but whatever. We'll use them up, basically. And yeah, and then the war with Gondwan will be over. Their candles will be out. We're building a temple here already. We'll start preaching, get our Dominion in over here. And that's basically it. So far, things are going good. Calum, slowly on the decline. I think I'm going to stop. We'll get some of this stuff, but I think Calum is beaten up now that I actually am going to probably leave them alone. Because they're going to, presumably if they leave me alone, they can just deal with Kailasa and all of that. I don't really have any more to gain from attacking them. So I think I'm going to take this, maybe, or we're going to Magic Face on top of this too, because, of course. But, you know, after that, I'll say, hey, you can have this back, and I'll be pieced out with you, and you can do other things. And I have to figure out, I have to manage how I tell them that, because this is not me, all right? Like, I'm not going to get all this stuff. I don't have enough army over here. It's going to be expensive. You know, if I take it, it's going to be really awkward land for me to hold. It just doesn't really fit geographically with what I'm trying to do. So if I'm not going to take it, I've already done my job in this coalition, which was prevent Calum from conquering the rest of the world. I think I've done that. So I think I'm going to make my peace with them after this. They can have this back. We're going to take it from them, and then we'll take this fort, and then... Anyway, they won't have to worry about me magic facing shit on top of their thing anymore. Their stuff anymore, they can actually fight. Which I think that will be a good deal for them, because this shit-eating grin guy has been fucking them up. And then I get to figure out my next move, which is either going to be Vanheim, or it will be Nazca, or potentially it may be the Moon, or potentially it could be Blandos. I don't know what the move will be, but I know we will take it fearlessly. And with that, we will finally end this super duper long episode. Thank you all who stuck through to the end, and I will see you next time.